Yo, what's going on everyone? Soap here, back on your screen yet again. I know you haven't heard that introduction in such a long time. The past few videos I've made have been sadly too serious for my own good, but nevertheless, I have returned and I have quite a lot to say. We see a lot of buzzwords thrown around these days about the way our social dynamics are portrayed and the way people label themselves. You've got introverts and you've got extroverts and you've got introverted extroverts, extroverted introverts, someone in a multiverse of introverts trying to be an extrovert. Now hold on, I know what you're thinking, and don't rush to conclusions. You're probably thinking, oh my God, another self-diagnosis. When will they stop? I'm not gonna label myself in this video. All I'm gonna do is share my experiences about how I grew up and where I ended up and how I believe some of these tips may help you. Remember, all of these videos are me just talking to my younger self. And if you have a problem with that, then fair play. I can't argue against it. I have a problem with these videos too, but I make them anyway. So growing up, I was always a quiet, shy guy, small social circle, into the nerdy stuff, video games and books and stuff like that. And also, as I grew up, I was the type to want to stay in on a Friday night, go to the gym by myself, do things by myself. I moved from team sports to individual sports. And I genuinely believed I was stuck this way. This was my personality. And there's nothing wrong with being yourself and being authentic. However, I felt like I was going to be in a particular endeavor or career in my life that was going to use my technical aptitude and go into work, do a certain task for someone, submit it, close the books, close the laptop and wrap it up for the rest of the day and not deal with too many people. But I came to realize people facing roles and jobs appealed to me more. I wanted to be not the life of the party, but I wanted to be able and capable to really deal with people and to grow and increase my income and not be afraid of a room full of people. And mind you, I wasn't a bad public speaker, and I spoke about this in my social anxiety video right here, but that didn't take away from me not wanting to be uncomfortable and in jobs and realities in my life that involved less people and more a closed off, comfortable, controlled, closed environments. So you must be thinking, how did you do it? That's what the title of this video talks about. So here are 3 things that I believe can help you increase your confidence if you label yourself an introvert and build your confidence in business and society and relationships or whatever is requiring you to deal with people more regularly. Did I say all 3 of them? Okay. Number 1. Focus more externally and on others rather than internally and on yourself. Now, what do I mean by that? You see, one of the traps that you can fall into when you're hugging the safety of your cocoon that is yourself, your own closed environment, is some sort of, it could be trauma, it could be embarrassing moments where you replay it over and over and over in your head, where you slipped up one day in the freaking cafeteria and everyone started laughing at you that you had spaghetti falling out of your pocket and you were sweating and your face went red and then you never forgot about it and now you're afraid to speak in public and whatever. You got to realize something, that as harsh as it may sound, you're not as important as you think you are. And the reality is, I'm not trying to tell you no one notices you. I'm trying to tell you no one cares about you as much as you think they do. And as a matter of fact, no one even notices you most of the time. And if you were to take those 400 people in the cafeteria and ask them about the day that you can't forget where you slipped and fell and spaghetti fell out of your pocket, I guarantee you no one will remember. And you'd have to jog their memory 1,000 times before maybe 2 or 3 of them will remember, because they were probably worried about their own life and their own things that were happening. And that is the reality of the life we live. We are so hyper focused about ourselves and how people view us and, oh, what if I make this video and my cousins laugh at me and all this and that, and the reality is no one cares and it's not going to matter anyway. So just do it. Be yourself, speak to that person, go to that job interview, make that video, talk in public, shake that hand, try to do as much as possible, knock doors, do whatever, and understand that none of it matters because no one's hyper focused on your own behavior as much as you are. You are your own worst critic. And so that makes it 2 sides to this coin. The side where no one's focused on you as much as you think they are. And also we said, try to focus on the external more than the internal, meaning Try to focus less on how you operate and embed yourself into a social setting or a group of people or an event, and focus more on others. Listen to them, ask questions, learn from them, observe them, rather than worrying about how they view you. Number 2, and my favorite one, do it scared. You know those nerves, those feelings, those ugly butterflies, you get the jitters in your body, but you're not really physically shaking? Those are being nervous. That's what it feels like to be nervous. And that's what I felt like when I met my current wife. Key phrase there, wife. Now, she wouldn't be my wife today had I not just walked up to her and spoken with her, even though she was with a group of friends, regardless of how I felt. If you are scared of talking in public, do it anyway. If you are scared of going to job interviews, do it anyway. If you're scared of walking up to that person or starting that sport or starting that business, do it anyway. Because the reality is you're never going to be as young as you are today, so take that risk. You need to build your appetite for risk. And the best way to do that is to say yes more within boundaries, all setting boundaries. Say yes more to events and try to shake as many hands as possible, but also start a hobby that challenges you mentally, spiritually, and physically. Because you see, when you get good at a hobby like something physical, something like a martial art or marathon running or something like that, not only do you develop a bit of respect for yourself and some sort of social interaction, but you also develop confidence. You see, when you walk around fit, looking the best, you know you can lift a certain amount of weight, or you went to that jiu-jitsu competition and you crushed it, or at least you crushed yourself and overcame your nerves and stepped on the mats anyway, you will feel like a more confident, more valuable, more outspoken person, whether you like it or not. You see, I felt very nervous for doing jiu-jitsu the last 8 to 10 years. Every time I've stepped on the mats during a competition, I felt nervous, but I've done it anyway because I want to have stories to tell my grandkids. And the reality is these nerves come from a place of pessimism. You're pessimistic. You think you're going to walk into a room and speak to these 10 people about your business idea and they're going to boo you and throw rotten tomatoes at you. It's not going to happen. And what if it does happen? That's a hell of a story. So just do it scared. Number 3, stop comparing yourself to others. You see, this one is key, right? Because there's a lot of people that you might perceive are in certain places that you want to be. They might be of the same age, they might be even younger. And when you're in the business world or the economic world or even social settings, you may feel like you may fall into the trap of comparing yourself to others, whether it could be your physical appearance or your where you are in life or your finances. Understand you are running your own race, and so is everyone else. You're not any less of a man because you have less money than someone, or you're shorter or taller than someone, or you're fatter or skinnier than someone. You are who you are. You are unique, you are worthy, and you are valuable. And the only person you should be comparing yourself to is who you were the day before. Try to think of life as like a game. You gain XP for doing things that you're scared of doing. You gain XP for gaining knowledge and learning new skills and hobbies or whatever, and you level up. And the only thing that matters is your level. Stop right-clicking on other people and checking their level and their stats, because it doesn't matter, because they're not you. It's you. It's your account. You're the one fighting the bosses. But I hope that makes sense, because the reality is you need to be your authentic self. And I know I've given you all these tips, but authenticity is at the forefront of all of this. Like all of these tips, I'm trying to help you tackle social settings a bit more, but you need to be true to yourself. I want to help you make more money, shake more hands, get that relationship that you want, or that friend group that you want, or whatever you want to achieve in life, because people are at the core. You need to deal with people to succeed in life. But you need to also set boundaries. You need to know when to say no. And you also need to work to your strengths, because the reality is you're a unique person. You have a unique set of skills. You have a unique set of strengths and weaknesses. And we want to tap into those strengths and avoid over analyzing our weaknesses. Look, that's all for today. I wanted to make this quick video, and there's more to come just like this, me talking to you, because I love you guys. I have another banger video coming out next week where I'm going to talk about my goals for this year, for 2025, because I am sick and tired of letting this channel down and letting myself down, because I love to be creative. And I'm yapping. Don't forget to subscribe, and Soapy signing out. Until next time.